Alright guys, what's going on? RedStormsAssassin here with another Minecraft video for you guys. So hopefully most of you guys have been doing well and have enjoyed your summer so far. I only have a few more weeks left of mine, so I'm going to go ahead and try and do as many more videos as I can. But without further ado, what I wanted to go over today was Tripwires, since 1.3 just came out and I'm super excited about that. But before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and go over and show you guys a few practical applications. So here we go. Alright, so that's just a few practical applications of Tripwires. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. There's so many more uses out there just waiting to be discovered by you guys. So let's go ahead and get started. So first off, I'm going to explain the basics, and then I'm going to see what we can do with Tripwires. So first off, before we get started in explaining stuff, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to actually build a Tripwire. So this is really easy. All you're going to need are one block of planks, a stick, and an iron ingot. So what you're going to do is you're going to place the block of wood first, and then you're going to place your stick and your iron ingot on top to receive 2 tripwire hooks. So now once you grab your 2 tripwire hooks, all you need is the tripwire and string to actually get started. So first off, in order to use a tripwire, you're going to have to place it in between 2 blocks like so. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, I have like OCD or something because I have to have it symmetrical. Alright, there we go. So what you do is you want to place 2 tripwires on 2 opposite blocks, and what you're going to do is across it you have to place 3 string just like so, and that's your tripwire like that. So tripwires are basically another way of activating or toggling redstone circuit, kind of like a pressure plate, but it's a lot harder to see, and I think that the word tripwire has a more negative connotation, so people might use it a lot more for traps and stuff like that. So when they go and someone steps on it, there is an output received at each end of the tripwire, just like so, or it can even be placed here or here, on the sides, behind it, around it, under it, you know, it does all of it. So yeah, that's the tripwire really fast. So that's basically how it works, and now I'm going to explain it a little bit more. So tripwires can actually be placed up to 40 blocks away. So you can have one over there and one way over there, and the space can be up to 40 blocks in between, which actually is a lot of string though, so I wouldn't really recommend doing that big of a surface. But if you want to, feel free to do that. But yeah, so the tripwire is also has to be placed on the floor mainly, but you can actually place it up higher in some circumstances, just like so. So if we place a tripwire here and here, we can link it across just like so, and it works very well. See, so like that. So you can actually have someone a trap where you fall and it'll trigger it like that. So that's one way. And another thing to note is disarming these traps. So disarming the traps is actually kind of confusing, but all you have to do is you take a pair of shears, and what I would do is when I'm walking around and I'm trying to find these, you just move your mouse up and down, and if you see something like this, you know there's a tripwire there, and you can actually break it, and it won't actually send off the circuit. So for example, up here normally, right, if we trigger it, it'll go off. If we break it, it'll go off. But if we use shears, actually, what we can actually do is just break it with shears, and it won't set it off. So it's really cool, and make sure you take note of that, because that's really important to not just break any tripwire you see, because otherwise you will set it off. And actually one way I'm going to show you though how to keep people from disarming your traps and getting away with it is instead you actually set a bud switch over on this end, and I'll show you that here in a sec. Hang on. Alright, so I've set up a tripwire mechanism with a bud switch right on the end right here, and they're not connected right now, but I'm going to show you how it works. So pretend we have a redstone trap right here, and this is our trap, right, the redstone torch. So that's our objective, is to get it to turn off. So normally if a player walks across it, right, it goes off and our objective was completed. If they break it, right, without shears, it goes off and our objective was completed. But if we grab shears, right, and we break it, it doesn't work, right, because the shears keep the trap from going off and you can safely disarm it this way. But if you use a butt switch, you can actually hook them up, and since this is a block update from the thing going up and down, it will actually still count it and it'll cause the trap to still go off. So now if we use shears, now that we've hooked up the butt switch to our output that we want, the torch should go off when we break the string, just like that. So even though we use shears, it still causes it to go off. Even if we replace it like this though, since it goes from here to here, the torch still does go off. Oh, my bad. There we go. See, so that's pretty much the basics, guys, of tripwires. There's really not a whole lot to it. It's like trying to explain a pressure plate or something like that. There's just a couple different things that you can do with them. So obviously the string can't be seen as well from when it's up here like this and when you actually place it across stone, for example. So if we have stone going this way, right, it's actually harder to see on stone. As you can see, it blends quite well with stone, whereas if you put it on sand or something, it's going to be seen a lot more easily. So yeah, placing it on different surfaces is also a key point to consider, to make sure you figure out where you want to place your tripwires to hide them the best kind of thing. You know, might place something like this if you want to hide the tripwire a little bit better, right? So if you put that under there, see, it might be a little harder to see kind of thing with the tripwire coming out this way. But yeah, so there's not a whole lot left to talk about. Tripwires are pretty self-explanatory, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys want to have any more questions, comments, or anything you would like to suggest, or tell me if I did something wrong, then leave them in the comment section below, or send me a personal message. So hopefully most of you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already to be notified of future videos, my bad. And if you liked the video, go ahead and click the thumbs up button, and thanks guys, and I'll see you guys next time.